Good morning, friends. Another day of trial. I have come to believe that the prosecution may never rest, and for the rest of our lives, we're just going to be sitting here talking about these murders. But alas, today is Wednesday, the 15th of February, 2023. The prosecution has promised that they are resting their case today. I strongly suspect that the prosecution are liars in that respect. They're not resting their case today. That's not happening. Also, because we have not heard from Cousin Eddie. Where is Cousin Eddie? Yesterday was Valentine's Day. So I made my family a really cute heart-shaped pizza. I love you, family. And it was all loaded with everything. I don't know if you know this, but this Crazy Behind channel originally started out as a cooking channel. I have a very nice yogurt recipe. If you want to make homemade yogurt, that's down there someplace. I make all kinds of stuff. I cook, I build, but that's not what we're here to talk about. You see how I'm just throwing in everything but the kitchen sink in this conversation this morning? That is what the prosecution is doing. I could give you my mozzarella cheese recipe, but that would be too far afield. Yes, I do make homemade mozzarella cheese, as well as homemade sausage, homemade pizza crust. I do the whole thing, and then like brick oven fire it. It's delicious. But you know, carbs. I'm trying to stay cute. Anyway, so last night as I was on my way to bed, for my bedtime story, I was rewatching the video of the caretaker. Oh my goodness. If this trial had an MVP for me, it would be the caretaker, along with Maggie's sister. But the dude who took care of the dogs, Roger Dale Davis Jr., ooh, I love a country man with two first names. Roger Dale. Roger Dale, you gonna take care of them dogs, Roger Dale? Oh my gosh, I loved him. He was a delight. He knew all the dogs' names. He knew their personalities. He knew which cages they went in. And my favorite part was when they were asking him what dog went in what kennel. He was like, well, let me see. Bubba and them over there. Then there's Maggie. Then there's one dog. I don't know what they call him. I call him Tappy Toes. He called one of the dogs Tappy Toes. He gave the dog a nickname. Then he described how he put the kennel away. He set everything up a particular way before he left work the night of the murders and went, shh, stop barking. Then when he came in the next day, it was all a mess. Somebody put the dogs back wrong. Also, you know how they said that one dog was hard-headed, Bubba with the chicken in his mouth? Well, justice for Bubba. I'm telling you, Roger Dale stood up there and he gave us the full explanation of the entire Bubba situation. He was the lawyer for Bubba. He was the guardian ad litem for old Bubba. What had happened was the dogs never bothered the chickens. The dogs did dog things and the chickens did chicken things. And then, Mr. Alec bought a rooster and the rooster used to torture the dogs. Doggone rooster. Well, once that rooster started messing with the dogs started chasing the chickens. In the end, the rooster got his because one of the dogs got him. I hope it was Bubba. He said Bubba was not hard-headed. Somebody else said Bubba was hard-headed. That's when we started looking for justice for Bubba. Turns out, Bubba was just a handful. He just was enthusiastic. As a person who was enthusiastic myself, I feel like Bubba was he was justified in chasing those chickens. What was the rooster's name? Do we have details on what the rooster's name was? Do you name chickens? They're delicious. I mean, I autopsied the chicken just a few days ago. Chickens are delicious, but also loud. So I'm glad that Bubba or Tappy Toes or one of them went and got the chicken. Today, what will we hear in trial? I do not know. I cannot conceive what other side trail this prosecution can go down. Do I think they proved their case? Yeah, probably. I mean, they threw enough ingredients in the mix. See how I brought it all back to cooking? They threw enough ingredients in this mix and they've stirred it all up. And hopefully their closing argument brings it all together. Do they bake it and deliver us a beautiful cake, fully frosted, no questions asked? I have no idea what they're doing. I am sincerely hopeful that they bring this all together. They need to land this plane. I need the prosecution to be done with their case in chief. Here's the thing, though. I am not from Hampton County. as you may have guessed. And something tells me that maybe this style of delivery of information works for the local folks. Hallie, Daisy, stop. Something tells me that maybe this works for them. To me, as an outsider, this case looks like a mess. Yeah, all the stuff is there, but can they bring it all together? But maybe this is just the style of that prosecution, or the style of that community, or the way that people understand things the most or best. I have no idea. I know Poop Poop gets up there and is disrespectful in court all the time. He was disrespectful to the, who's the lady who does the autopsies? The medical examiner. He was like making jokes in court about the way the bullet went in and whatever. Dang, calm down. He's very old fashioned. I suspect that his style of delivery and his style of charming the jury used to work back in the day. Not so much, sir. Not so much. He comes from a day and age where you could like, their little lady women, and just, I don't know. He's old fashioned. He needs to go to state senate where he can do his state senator work and charm people and make his money and do whatever he's going to do and sit down. Jim Griffin, not much different. Jim Griffin seems more pulled together, calmer, more cohesive, like he sort of knows what he's doing. I don't know what's going to happen. Ooh, that's a Mandy Matneyism. I don't know what's going to happen with this case. I don't know if Alec will be convicted. I don't know what happens next. I don't know if Cousin Eddie is going to take the stand. I don't know if there will ever be a day when we are not talking about this case. But when this case is over, the question remains, what cases are next? There are two cases that I am especially interested in. One is the suitcase murder trial, and that is a trial where a drunk lady locks her boyfriend in a suitcase, then pulls out her phone and videotapes her teasing him while he's inside of the suitcase. And then he dies from positional asphyxiation. And that is when you're like in a weird position and it causes you to suffocate. She's garbage. Let's just say right up front. Yes, she is presumed innocent. Still, I believe she is garbage. The second case that I'm interested in is the Adelson case. Now, there was an entire podcast on this case, and I believe the podcast was called Tally. It's about a woman who divorces her husband, like a prominent Jewish family. It doesn't matter that they're Jewish, but just like this prominent family. And the husband sounded like a real pain in the neck. Yes, he got murdered, and you're not supposed to speak ill in the dead, but frankly, he sounded like I don't know what kind of husband he was, a good dad, but a general pain in the neck. He loved to argue, and he was some sort of law professor. They lived in Tallahassee. That is why the podcast is called Tally. And then her family was down in Miami. Tallahassee's up north, Miami's down south. After they got divorced, the ex-wife wanted to move her kids down to Miami to be close to her family, but the arguing husband was like, no, we staying up here in Tally. Ultimately, the wife's family, her brothers and all these other people got together and had the arguing husband killed. Little by little, people in this case have gone to trial. There's a hitman. There's two hitmen. They were not that bright. There's the girlfriend of one of the brothers. Everybody's also a dentist in this family. It's a family full of dentists. It's a fascinating, complicated story. And finally, one of the brothers who commissioned the murder is being brought to trial. The hit people and the ex-girlfriend have already been convicted and are serving life in prison. It's the Adelson trial, the state of Florida versus Adelson. I want to say David Adelson. I forget which Adelson it is. When that trial comes to court, I will be interested in seeing what happens, but I'm probably going to go back and re-listen to the podcast Tally. I think it might have been put out by Dateline NBC or like Dateline, something like that. But so I'm going to follow the suitcase murder trial. I'm going to follow Tally. And if the Lori Vallow case ever comes to trial, that might be another year or 2 years out. There's a lot going on in that case as well. I will be all over Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell because they too are garbage. Honestly, in that case, what I want to hear most about is Zulema. Zulema is one of the characters in that mess of a story. And Chad Daybell, who was not a prophet but thought he was, said that Zulema could control the weather or the elements or something like that. That whole situation is insane. I just want to learn more about Zulema. Okay, I'm going to go refresh my drink. No coffee today because I'm a little high strung today. I'm going to go get myself a nice Crystal Light with lime flavored seltzer. Ooh, that's my favorite. See, I'm still giving recipes up to the very end. I love myself a mocktail because I don't drink alcohol. So I put a lot of ice and then one of those little straws of Crystal Light and then lime flavored seltzer from Wally World, Walmart. It is delicious. And if you use lime seltzer and orange Crystal Light, it tastes like a creamsicle. See? There's a little tip for your day. Maybe I'll start adding in recipes to these videos because they're not scattered enough. All right, y'all have a great day and I'll talk to you later. Bye.